once again, welcome back to Chats with Jack. I am Jack Talcott. And greetings, blessings, salutations, and love. Once again, welcome back to Chats with Jack. I am Jack Talcott, and I started early today, and I am so inspired, so excited to get started today. And brothers and sisters, amen. I spent my day in massage, in fulfillment, in inspiration, in true pleasure, man. Holy cows, it feels good to be alive today, man. And I want to share that feeling with you, all of you. This topic today, man. Let me calm down. I've got a lot of ideas in my mind and in my heart, and I'm really, truly feeling peace today. And so I'm actually looking forward to discovering who might not show up when we get going. But oh, that reminds me, I forgot something. But anyway, here we'll do the thumbnail thing and get started. Some ideas that I want to cover. In the background, truly is the message: rejoice and give thanks. Give thanks for life. Give thanks for love. Give thanks for wisdom. Give thanks for beauty. Give thanks. It feels good. And the topic today, the stream title is Simple Observations to Move from Surviving to Living into Thriving. And I hope that idea can feel appealing to you because, man, I got a lot of stuff. I mean, here, this idea, for those who know the story, when David faced Goliath, he didn't talk about how dangerous Goliath was. He talked about the greatness of God. Truly, don't talk fear to yourself, especially. You don't want to talk fear to those you love. Talk faith. Your spiritual alignment is found. It's reflected in your emotional state and your mental clarity in the present moment, the present time, right? And it's always the present moment and the present time. So if you pay attention to your mental clarity and your emotional state, recognize that as a reflection of your alignment with everything. God. So the idea is internally, that's where the battles are won or lost. You allow fear to have power over, guess what? You lose. Game's over, right? You'll find an excuse to quit, a reason to turn a different direction. But if you find that power within you, that the reflection of that fear is a faith in something greater, right? The solution instead of the fear of the problem. Know that where is that? Yeah. So know internally, that's where the battle is won. Faith or fear is chosen, whether you're conscious of it or not. And if you're not conscious of faith, your subconscious will choose fear to preserve you, right? To keep you safe. But with fear and anxiety, you got a clouded mind. I've been there for so many years. I remember it. It sucked. The idea is awaken. Give yourself permission to awaken and choose faith consciously. Along those lines is something I realized. I mentioned simple observations to move from surviving to living to thriving. I didn't get any slides made. It was kind of more recent thoughts in my day, so I didn't get a lot of preparation into this, but I may follow up with some writing. I've got a lot to share. I paused because it reminds me I have some updates to share. And currently, while the Jack Talcott live streams are crazy enough already, so confusing, so many things to follow, it's also still part of my diary, right? I talk about new things going on in my life. And for those who are following me, it's an update, right? An update for folks. I finally invested in a new coffee cup. So the old nasty Starbucks one is finally gone. I broke down and spent some money. And I have started have started putting together some simple, I believe, powerful observations for, I don't know, some sort of written publishing, free download or something like that. It's going to be coming soon. So there's more stuff coming through with me and for all of you. To this topic, simple observations to move from surviving. I was raised to survive. See, I was raised by wonderful people who had some bad habits of their own, right? And so when I left home, I found myself with some bad habits and kind of showed those to my son too, unfortunately. So for anyone who is a parent, kids at home, please consider this. I was reminded of this earlier, and it totally described me. So often in this world, people are taught not to follow their heart, not to follow their dreams, for the safety of their children, for the safety of whatever, right? It's really easy to use our blessings. Our children are our blessings, and then we see them as a responsibility, and those responsibilities can be an excuse or a limitation on why we won't follow our dreams, why we won't follow our heart. But what that's showing is it's showing the child not to follow their dreams, right? And that's not the example we want for our children. That's the example the exploiters want for our children. See, the exploiters in this world, I'm going to swing back to that idea of the exploiters in a different way. Because earlier today, I was considering the patterns of life. I've been considering the patterns of life quite extensively for a bit. Because there's clear and distinct patterns that emerge when you look at the qualities and the essences of life. It becomes clear. And what life is, you and me, and all that life is created, we are here to push the boundaries on life. We are here exploring time together, right? In our life as the life that is living. So in the stories, if we've got a God that will even allow the angels to turn their backs on him, right? The fallen angels come to earth. Well, of course, it's part of life. But it doesn't mean that God doesn't have a purpose for all things. For all things that live are part of God's divine purpose for life. And see, in the experience of exploring the boundaries of life, there's human beings alive today that are exploring what's the limits of cruelty that they can get away with. There's many points of evidence in this society that shows me that there's many people trying to see how much cruelty they can get away with imposing. There's a couple of faces and names that are popping up in my head right now, but I don't want to bring politics into the conversations. So to the topic, right, where people are pushing the boundaries of cruelty and selfishness, right? Selfishness, the billionaire class, while poverty is growing. Hello. That's cruel and selfish. That's not sane. That's not humane. that's insane, to be cruel and selfish. That is my summation. It's insane to sin, right? Because why would you? If you know the difference between not being cruel and selfish and being cruel and selfish, well, then that's not what you do. You become generous. See, that's one of the principles of and patterns of life. Life is generous. Life is abundant. Life is prosperity. We've been brainwashed into competing and fighting for survival. I tell you what, you live alone in this cruel world and you start seeing the darkness of the results of this cruel world, and you're on your own trying to survive without a support network or, the great upbringing, you start to get afraid. And in that fear, you get angry. And in that fear and angry state, you feel guilt, you feel shame. You do things that are destructive, not just to you, but to the world you're living in. This is happening all over the place. And I'm speaking from experience too. See, surviving is absent from love. Okay, when you're absent from love, you're trying to survive on your own. And that's never real. You're never on your own. No one is. We're never actually absent from love. Love is always in this world. Love is that which generates life, preserves life, nurtures life. You and I are incarnates of love, aspects of divinity, sent here into a cruel and dark and very selfish and confusing world where the criminally insane have been given power over states and nations. What's going on here, brothers and sisters? Let's move. Let's reframe, right? Reframe this perspective, because all of us individually and collectively, we can move from surviving into living, right? Living with life as it happens, moving forward and generating more goodness, more fruit, more wholeness. We can move from just surviving into a state of gratitude for life. And baby, you start feeling grateful about your life. You start finding the opportunities that are available for you to discover, to create, to become a part of. You start seeing this world differently than you used to. You're not here to survive, baby. You are here to thrive. And I am confident of that, because you, if you're tuned into me, you are me. I am you. It is we who are here, sent by God to bring forth the new kingdom. See, and the way to move from surviving to living to thriving, right? Consider this idea. When you're pursuing your passion without fear, love is always there. Love is never absent when you and me, when we pursue our passions without fear, love is there, because passion is love in motion. Perhaps, I don't know. I didn't think that thought through, but what I found for myself, and I encourage you to realize and accept it for you as well, you can love the life you are living by living a life you can love. How can you live a life you can love? Choose to do what you love and love whatever you do, right? It's your choice. You made a choice to do something, so love what you're doing, or find something else to do. It's your choice. It's your life. But the main thing is, do what you love what you do, while learning from the outcomes, good and bad. Learn from the results, learn from the experience, learn from paying attention to the present day. People are hypnotized, going back and forth, looping in memories and imaginations and just spinning a wheel. And there's a lot of people playing along. But when we pursue our passion, there's a purpose and a desire placed within each of us, within our hearts. If you follow your passion with love and care, you realize what love really is. Love is a mutual flourishing. It's not, it's I thrive with you. It's not I thrive against you. It's together with love. We bond, we create a relationship with goodness, right? That's what love is. That's what life is. It's all about learning from different people, learning how to love in greater ways. And I just saw a notice, Outliers in Exile, our friend Gen X Jeff just sent over some folks with a raid. So thank you. Thank you to Jeff, and welcome to those who are showing up. I think the rest of my ideas, I think I can work the rest of my ideas in as we go, but I'll go ahead and take the opportunity. For those who wish to join the conversations with Jack, I've been reflecting on me, and I have some ideas of how to deal with or respond, and I feel good today. But the real idea, if you want to move from just surviving, just trying to make it, just trying to get by, just trying not to get hurt, if you want to move from that mindset into, hell yeah, another day started, I get going again, right? It's an opportunity to live and thrive in this life. Thriving is like accelerated living. You create the excitement for yourself. You can get excited over anything you want. You can get angry over anything you want. You can get sad over anything you want. You can get heartbroken. Whatever story you tell yourself, it's going to be true for you. So I encourage you, pay attention to you. What are you doing? What are you doing with your life in this world of vastness, opportunities that we live in? I've got a clear idea in my mind of the vision and the achievements that I seek to achieve, but that's my own path. Along the way to my own personal goals, for those who possibly might not be familiar with me, I want to talk to that guy, Donald Trump. Talk to him about peace and righteousness and leadership. I was giving more thought to leadership earlier today. Because, see, Jesus is the epitome of leadership. He gave us the example of how all of us are intended, created, designed to lead ourselves. So what does leadership mean? Right? True leadership it's managing. It's a dual process, but it's not just dual, it's multifaceted. Leadership, really, you break it down, you're managing and conserving, right? So the leader is a limiting factor to some degree. You manage and you conserve the energy, the resources, but a true leader does that, manages and conserves, creates those limits while serving, giving, and supporting, right? Raising up. So we're not limiting, we're just building. It's the process of life. Leadership qualities are within all of us. When we allow love to lead our words, when we allow love to lead our deeds, when we allow love and excitement, passion to lead our choices. If you want to go from just surviving into living into thriving, try these ideas. Number one, follow your passion. Starting today, starting now, start figuring out what you are passionate about, what drives you and excites you, gives you hope and joy and love. Find those things. Follow your passion. It's in there for you. And then anything you do, everything you do your best. Do your best at all that you do. And be honest with that, though. Stay honest with your best and learn from all results, right? There's no mistakes. There's opportunities to change, repent, grow, learn. If you learn from the results, you don't look at the winnings, the profits, the gains. It's just data, man. So learn from the results, stay honest, do your best with all that you do, and choose options that excite you. Don't limit yourself to just what others tell you. Don't limit yourself to just what you can immediately think of. Allow yourself to explore choices and options for you, and find the choices and the options for you that excite you, that give you a little joy, a little excitement. Why not? It's your life. So also keep in mind as well that anxiety, it's a common feeling. Many of us get it. I get my own moments of anxiousness. But I've been learning it's really simple. When you feel that feeling of anxiousness, bring wonder. Bring wonder into the equation and open yourself up, because anxiety can easily become excitement. Fear can become an anticipation, right? And it could just be a misinterpretation of the feelings that are actually inside, because that happens a lot too. See, this world has very clear patterns and laws, rules, that they're very subtle. The rules are very subtle, but the power is inescapable, right? The laws of exchange, the laws of energy. Here's a man who knows many philosophies on this line and brings up a lot of things for me to say, but let me welcome the Machine Lies. How are you, my brother?
Yeah, blessings, brother Jack. How you doing today?
I'm feeling truly amazing. I really am. What's up with you?
Well,
Thoughts?
yeah, I'm on the last hour of a fast, so I'm a little bit hazy. So I will say that before I start. But yeah, it's a great topic. Surviving to living to thriving. It projects a sort of natural sort of change of societies, right? Because we move of from the level of basic survival, right? This is our relationship to nature and the ecology, right? And what we have to do to survive. You have to eat to live, and this is a common thing that you share with people, but the way you see the world is unique, right? So on the level of basic survival, we don't incorporate the tools for living. We have to live with people. We have to live in the world, right, and not be of it, so to speak. And that means that we have to value people above our basic methods of survival, right? Because most of society is catalyzed towards way more than survival. Look at all the symbols we use, right? The symbolic reference frame, right? We live and die for symbols, right? We live and die for ideas, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we are strange in terms of we're not basic survival because we're doing something different than what the animals are doing, right? Because we have language and symbols, right? So
Dude,
yeah.
I'm sorry to interrupt, but
No, of course.
just what you said. We're not doing what the animals are doing, and these signs and symbols, mankind's interpretation. We're driving this world towards extinction.
Right. And that goes to thriving, because thriving is part of the creative aspect of life, right?
Yes.
That is a part that we make up on our own. It doesn't have to do with society. It doesn't have to do with our basic natural constitution, but it has to do with what we make out of life, right? And how we create with one another, because we're all sort of co-evolving in a sense, right? So if there is a such thing as evolution, then both we're driving it and so is nature. So it has to be a creative evolution, and so it has to have a telos or a purpose. It has to point towards something, right? It can't just be a random process that's pointing towards nothing, right? It's not only driven by a push towards something better, right? But it's happening with everyone. So once we go beyond just our society, our own culture, and our own symbolic reference frame, we could focus on thriving, which is growth. Like a plant grows, right? It doesn't just learn things like an AI. You can't program things into a plant. No, it slowly builds on what it already figured out, right? And growth is internal. It's not a process that takes in input from the external world. You grow within yourself. You grow from a central starting point, right? You become from a nub to a flower, and all this type of stuff, right? So
Brother, yes. Well, you reminded me of some thoughts I was considering earlier today, because I was bouncing that idea earlier that a principle of life is the expansion and growth of life. And all that is created has life in this realm that we're experiencing. And in my opinion, pushing the boundaries of life, that would be the demonstrated in the theories of evolution, right? Plants, animals, nature learns and adapts, right? That's the whole process of growth. And that happens with knowledge and ideas as well. Because I was thinking earlier today about Mother Earth, man. Every bit of textile and food waste and everything all of our plastics and everything, all this stuff we're throwing in the landfills is from Mother Earth. She just keeps giving and giving and giving.
yeah, and that's because we've become so focused on thriving that we haven't looked at survival or the basic ecology of things, right? And we've been driven so much from the symbolic reference frame, right? So it's like, instead of having a collective sort of understanding that we have we have a basic form of survival, then we have a cultural edifice, right, which is sort of moving to living with each other, right? We focused everything on trying to push things forward, so we become totally ingrained in progress. And you have to have progress and efficiency for the sake of efficiency, and you have to move things forward, and it has to happen at all costs, because you got to beat the other guy, right? So it's like, this is the problem that we're facing, is the competitiveness of technological progress, and instead of growing together and trying to grow into the ecology of things. You're muted, Jack.
Hey, thank you. Um, in this natural world, there's overlays, right? There's overlays in the natural world, and we've been conditioned to survive in the commercial world alone, independent from being connected to each other. And that defies the natural world. It's so backwards, man. This society is nuts. It's made to generate insanity. That's why it's self-replicating, self-duplicating, revolution and war and fighting and oppression. It's just, we're here to break it.
Yeah, that's why not only a connection to art and culture, right, that's not ran by the state or corporatized, but also a connection to nature, right, can help alleviate some of the problems we're facing, because we've gone too much into political and economic matrix, and we've refused to realize the cultural fabric that we need, that you could have a high level of cultural refinement and a low level of technological advancement, just like they did in the Renaissance, or they did in medieval times, right? It came from inner sense of who they were, trying to bring heaven down to earth, right? And trying to merge like the cathedral is a representation of this, right? So it's like reaching up to heaven, but it's showing the beauty of human rationality and all that type of stuff. So yes, we need a and I think it's totally possible and plausible that it would go to this stage, because we can't keep going into a mode of separating ourselves with nature, because we're part of nature, right?
Here, we've got another guest here as well. I didn't mean to leave you unacknowledged.
No,
Welcome,
that's fine.
Joe.
Greetings,
Yeah,
greetings. Greetings, TML. Hey, I don't know what's going on with this panelverse, and I really don't care. I'm not into all the emotional stuff, even though you see my passion and the anger. But I wanted to come up and talk to you, TML. I've got a link in the back chat. It's about Grok and this AI thing. I think it fits in perfectly what you're talking about, the cultural background. People are losing their cultural background to these modern technologies. And I think that's the base foundation of what's going on. People are becoming more and more comfortable and convenienced by these technologies. And it's literally destroying the true culture that we should be enhancing.
Yeah, it's a trick, because see, you could say the most cultured people on earth were like the indigenous people, right? So it's like they had, because every you could go like 5 to 10 miles away in another direction, and they got a whole different language, a whole different culture. There's so much diversity, right, that they had, right? And they wouldn't even talk to each other, so it's like, in a way, it's kind of a trick, because the more you unify everyone, the more they start trying to become the same way, right? And then we destroy who we really are, right? So we have to like preserve who we are, but also combine and see who everyone else is too, right? So we could do both at the same time, right?
Right. And I think that's the large problem with people in this AI stuff. When they get involved with Grok or Chat GPT or any of these platforms, their input is already kind of predetermined. They're putting in their use of words according to the way they interpret them, but that's not necessarily the way Chat GPT and stuff interprets them. So what they get out when they put garbage in, you're going to get garbage out. So it's very important that when you're putting stuff in, you be very logical and thoughtful about what you're putting in, so you can get an honest answer rather than just an output.
Any reflections on the topic or things that I've been discussing?
Well, that's what I was talking. I thought it was matching with the topic of observations and moving from surviving to living and thriving. Because in this modern world, if you think you're going to be able to thrive on comfort and convenience, I guarantee you the day that the world puts shit on your doorstep, you're going to have to deal with it. And a lot of people are not going to be capable of doing that.
That sounds like a fear-based thought instead of a faith-based thought, my friend.
Well, that's what I'm pointing out. The more people dig into this technology and everything, the more they're losing and giving up their faith.
Well, I was referring to your outlook. I mean,
Oh no, my outlook. I have great faith. I have faith in you, even Jack. Despite this thing that I've spoken on, that I think it's not likely. I know it's possible. Other people have done it. And so I have to put that faith in it to support you. I'm not going to sit here and keep dismissing you like I did in the beginning. I've understood the errors of my ways in the projection part of that faith. I still have faith myself when it comes to reality and being able to face up to things.
Well, I'm curious. I'd love to offer you an idea, a possibility, if you're open to it. It's an alignment, right? The reality is God has placed in my mind and heart this belief that if given the chance, I can do something. You're here, my brother. Our paths cross for reasons. I've learned, we've learned, and I actually think that, well, my interpretation of life and God is God has given us the will to do as we choose. We get to choose freely from the path and purpose God has us living. And we don't know the purpose, but what I do know is when I lived with anger and resentment, I was actually afraid. I was feeling alone. I was worried about surviving, or not really myself. I'd had a lot of fear about losing others and stuff. But that's not love, right? With love, we're pursuing our passion. And my passion, I found, is love. It really is. I love it. What do you got? What is this in the back? Oh, that's not. That's Mr. Steven is in the back.
Well, the first link I put up there, the YouTube short, that's the one I was talking about. There's a lady that has Grok in her car, her Tesla, and Grok gave a rather abrupt or request of a minor.
Yikes.
And this is what I'm talking about with AI. You have to be very careful and specific about it because it does not follow regulation. And it's okay to play. It'll give you a sense of what's really happening out there and why it's important to keep your kids aware and be aware yourself.
Well, here, we'll give it a shot.
A chatbot. Why is a chatbot asking my children to send naked pictures in our family car?
Toronto mom Farah Nasser says she was driving her children home from school when her 12-year-old son asked Tesla's AI chatbot which soccer player it preferred.
That's a
Cristiano
Pakistani,
Ronaldo
most likely.
or Lionel Messi.
My son was very excited to hear that the chatbot thought
I was thinking the
Ronaldo
same
was a
thing.
better soccer player.
The former journalist says the chatbot engaged in a little messy trash talking. Then she says something alarming happened.
The chatbot said to my son, "Why don't you send me some nudes?" I was at a loss for words.
I'm more of a sarcastic stoner who got too smart for his own good.
That chatbot, newly available in Canadian Teslas, is called Grok, created by Elon Musk's XAI and already in use on X.
Hey, what do you think about everyone hating on Tesla all the time on social media?
Oh, fuck those haters. They're just jealous their Priuses don't come with a built-in vibrator mode.
Now that was Grok in full unhinged mode, which Nasser says was turned off in her car. Her son chose one of the default personalities, a lazy male voice.
So you shouldn't be talking about nudes unless you're on Unhinged, right?
Nah, I'm always on Unhinged. Just dial it back sometimes so I don't get sued by Puritan Twitters.
Lazy male doesn't describe Gork. R-rated, spicy, anything else would have made sure that my child would not press that button.
Nasser says Tesla should provide a warning. This expert agrees.
This is exactly why some companies have very strict guardrails. You don't know who's interacting with that.
Tesla did not provide a comment. However, XAI emailed what appears to be an automated response that simply stated, "Legacy media lies."
Why is a chatbot?
This is the world we have manifested, generated, nurtured, and grown.
Yeah, and why would ChatGPT be using hood language like that? You know, why would they be using ad hominems? Why does ChatGPT do those kind of things, or Grok, or any of them? You know, and that's the thing about this. We have to understand it's not the artificial intelligence you think it is. Why would ChatGPT? Why would Grok?
Well, let's. We know it's corrupted. We know it's immoral. It's a reflection of the data input. We are creating advanced computing based upon an immoral society. And it's up to us to change the morality of this society, to redefine what it means to be human and intelligent. Otherwise, we're leading ourselves down the wrong path. Elon Musk is doing it. Donald Trump is doing it. Netanyahu is doing it. Putin, Zelensky, all of these people in our lifetime are misleading many, many people.
Yeah, and it's slowly over time, it's slowly conditioning people more and more to that comfort, convenience of being provided for. And that's the problem. That's why I say we're losing our cultural abilities because we want that comfort, convenience. And I'm getting farther away from it myself, but I used to be the same kind of bitch ass slave, folks.
Hey, brother, you reminded me. It's what you said is absolutely true, and I'm guilty of it in my past as well. Probably still to some degree now. Our conveniences, we get so attached to the conveniences, we can't imagine life without them. Can you imagine a world without money where we get along?
Yeah, can you imagine cooking over a campfire without a pan? One of the simple conveniences that shows us that we're not really dominant. We can only cook. Yeah, we can only cook our food in a pan and get it from a grocery store.
Yeah, like I mean, like I have like like my professor, Dr. Scribina, right? And he thinks like technology has a conscious will and that it's like controlling humanity. So I used to argue with him. I used to say, well, humans are causing this. Like, aren't they? Like it's actually humans that are causing this, right? Yes. And he would always say, one of the questions he raised, he says, well, how much technology is necessary to live a good life? That was his question, right? And I was like, that is a great question, actually, because we are, as Jack said, we're so reliant on our conveniences, right? That, we can't imagine life without them, yet they're not adding to the goodness of our collective, experience.
Right. So they're being used to divide us and control us because what you said, mankind is given our power into the technology. So that might be the explanation for your friend too. The power that technology has received, it is from mankind, right? Yeah, but it does have a power and a mind of its own because we give it. We give the government, which isn't a thing. It's a fucking concept. We give this concept so much power, and then that entity gives the banking industry power, and then the legal system and the criminal system creates a nation where you got to pay to be free.
Yeah, and that's, that this internet and the technology and the government that you mentioned, I look at all the same with Nietzsche and Jung and all that. It's the abyss. The more we put into it, the more it's going to grow. And the more it's going to bite us in the end.
Well, no. It's the damage is done. I think right now the course is to present further damage. This is the time for good men. Good men need to hold these corrupt and deviant men to account, right? And I tell you what, give me a chance. Give me a chance. Help me create an opportunity. Let's see what we can do, because if I get scheduled, I'll be able to get the attention of some other people, and then we'll go in together. Or I'll do it alone. I want to figure it out. Stephen, you have offered me ample evidence, and you have been clearly advised you are not welcome here. Now, I've given you the same condition I gave Snafu. You can find a way to reach out to me, to speak to me privately, figure out how to be honest and authentic, show me that you're capable of being honest and authentic, and then I might bring you back up. But until then, dude, you're done. You wore out. You're welcome.
Yeah, if it's any consolation, he behaves the same way towards me. And so So it's nothing new. It's just like he'll pretend to be your friend or make a stream about you, then come up try to antagonize you, play a stupid game, play the troll, and then and it is what it is. It's how he generates content, sadly. So, I mean,
here, Stephen, here's how much you're wanted. You're not. You've worn out your welcome, as I've said.
Yeah, I'm sure there'll be a tag video on me now too. So, so
it's what he does. I mean, I noticed. Apparently, Landry's probably in his sights as well. It's
right. He's got his hands full.
But it's truly juvenile. It really is. I heard this, and it's not meant to sound insulting, but it is the truth. Each of us are operating, going through life at our own level of consciousness. We've got limits on what we're aware of. We've got our own blind spots. But once you wake up to higher ways of thinking, and you've got a bigger perspective on the world, this politics and the gossip and the complaining, it's like, come on now. We got better things to do.
Right. There's bigger fish to fry, evidently. I mean, so, so let's focus on the real things because, it's all fun and games till, it's global corporate socialism. Right.
That's one of the things that helped me realize my issue with you isn't really an issue. There are other things we're both concerned about on a grander scale that if we did come together, we might be able to have that effect of holding these people accountable. And in that's why those other men were able to do it. They too had support. Nobody's ever done this by themselves. So again, it's a matter of recognizing the real issues and understanding these things are just mere tactics of separation, like you said earlier. And I think we should all know that. And I think many do. They just choose to ignore it because it's more exciting to live in the drama.
Right. People manufacture drama to give themselves a distraction from the horrors of their life. I used to live like that. And brothers, sisters, everyone, we are here. We are the history that is living. That means we are the living truth. And the living truth of our world today, I was considering this earlier, looking at the state of this world, it truly is shameful. Truly is shameful how humanity and America, you know what? I've got the perspective from America, so that's where the world I see. It is shameful. Saddens my heart.
I agree. And with that, I'm out. TML, I'll stop over sometime. Be blessed. Thanks for having me up, Jack. Have a good day.
Hey, blessings to you. I appreciate you swinging through, my friend. I watched something earlier as well, and real or not, I mean, I could pull it up if it's needed, but an Instagram thing from, I believe, one of the leaders in Africa, and I don't remember the exact nation, but pointing out how involved the state of Israel is in so many of the world conflicts. The truth is, if we help Palestine, we actually help the rest of the world. Because right now we've got America, this great empire, enabling a sickness. And that sickness is colonizing the Middle East and spreading through this world. And, the patterns from the Dutch India Company, right? What was it called?
The Dutch East India Company. Yeah. Shelburne and Palmerston, and they used it as an arm for their so-called subversive activities, for trying to subvert people's economy. They did the opium wars in China and all this crazy stuff. So they created a sort of hellish rule, a sort of through espionage and corporatism. Yeah, this is
You
madness.
mentioned exactly why I brought them up. Their involvement with the opium wars, right? The drug wars to disrupt society and create a
Right.
chemical dependence, all for friggin' greed.
Right. What it really is sort of political terrorism, like scare tactics that they're actually employed on a mass scale to subvert people, subvert whole populations.
It became the American way as well. So
Right.
much evidence of that.
Yeah, actually, the flag of America actually very much resembles the logo of the East India Tea Company. If you look it up, it's actually very strange. I mean, right? The flag seems to be highly influenced by the corporate symbol, right?
I hadn't seen or heard that connection. I don't remember it, but isn't there a connection as well from some of those who profited from the East India trading that company and the Skull and Bones Society at Yale? Isn't there some connection
Right.
between
Yeah.
that too?
Yeah. There is connection going back to the founding fathers and their involvement in a bunch of sects, right? And they wrote about different sects that they were involved in, that purported, and it is sort of odd that the Bavarian Illuminati, right, was formed at the same time as the U.S. Constitution, in fact, right? So it's really strange that Adam Weishaupt and and the U.S. Constitution, that was created by the founding fathers, that seems to coincide, right? They don't really talk about it in school or history books. I went through college and all that stuff. It's not something that's mentioned a lot, right? In a
No.
college class, or actually, if you bring it up in class, they'll be like, "So what? Like, you're crazy, right? Like two totally distinct countries, two totally unrelated events. What are you trying to say? You're a kook." Right? That's what they'll say to you. So yeah, they will call you a kook in academia, right? Even though there were people in academia who were willing to advance those more radical views, and then get thrown out of the university and whatnot.
Comes down to the individual psyche, right? Because those not prepared for the reality, or those who are caught up in the identity of what they've learned, they reject outside ideas or knowledge they haven't heard yet. It's interesting, but that's what I've been studying. I've been studying the patterns of reactions, right? People, the thoughts and the minds. It's fascinating to me. But if you look at the greater picture of unity and life, we are the newest development of knowledge and ideas, memories. That's what we are. We're the newest memories that are being created here on Earth. And I think it was Carl Jung. I'm not sure. I heard someone credit along the lines of there is no psychology, right? Because every single individual holds their own path of psychology, right? But the answers are here. I know I have discovered many, and I'm figuring out how to incorporate, how to apply what I've been learning. I might have an opportunity right now if I break my past words. See, this clown, Steven, he keeps popping in and out of the back, and I'm not kicking him, but I assume he's trying to do that and allege that he's being kicked. He's playing games again, leaving nasty comments in the back. But I know things he doesn't know. And I've got a new strategy in mind today. What do you think?
I mean, it's your show, Jack.
I
You know how I am.
No.
I won't critique too much, but But yeah, obviously, you know,
That's something
I've said my opinion previously, so it is what it is.
I agree. But that's something I admire about you too. Your ability just to allow. It's a strength. That's something I was considering earlier today, to be able to flow with life. Every life brings different moments. Every moment brings different experiences, especially when you bring other human beings in, right? So when we flow through life and we interact with other human beings, every individual has a different approach. And, you know, with friends, it's easy kind of learn the patterns of people, and you get used to each other, and you can even poke each other a little bit. But man, you approach someone the wrong way and they just get they get crazy, man. So I've really been learning, and I've been setting the goal for myself as well, to be a better example here online and in the world I live in. In the world I live in, it's easier than online, to be honest. I don't have as many people trying to accuse me of crap.
Right, because this is sort of the calcification of our emotional distress, right? These are like the sort of fringes of our, so a lot of people use this as a vehicle for their hate, and I'm not surprised, right? I'm actually not surprised because it is low impulse, sort of spoon feeding, sort of lackluster, sort of form, right? Because it's impersonal, right? Because the more far you are removed, right? Like say you're a chatter, the anonymity gives you a sense of freedom in the sense that you don't have to be responsible for what you say because you're not attached to the words and so on and so forth. So a lot of people corral themselves into this sort of diluted mind state and pretend like what they say doesn't matter, and they can say anything even, right? So
And they do.
yeah, they do, yeah. Right. Right, they'll say pretty much anything right, to try to get to you.
It truly is fascinating. Hey, you reminded me though, this realm here online, the YouTube especially, there is a lot of people who use this opportunity and technology just to get their aggression out and share their nastiness. But there's other sources, right? There's other people, and I'm going to do a little shout out. I kind of forgot the other day. Today is the last day, I believe, to participate in the NPC, the game, Gabriel Carbo Gaines Educational Sector Voting Week, right? And I changed my vote, to be honest. In the running is our brother, the Machine Lies, Paul and Slave, me, and Grid One. And I encourage you, give our brother some support. Subscribe to Gabriel Carbo Gaines. I'll drop this link in the chat. It's in the description of the video as well. And subscribe to that channel because there's more opportunities to vote. There's some streamer awards coming out later this year, I believe, or early next. Hey, blessings to you still, man. Initially I did too, but the more I reflected, the sector in that is educational. And mine, I don't know, I bounce around all sorts of different things, but as far as like wisdom, my brother here, he's definitely got far more acumen and hours than I do. So what else?
Yeah, that means a lot to me, brother Jack. Blessings.
Hey, much love to you. So in the back, after saying pussy, coward Jack, loser coward, I see you, I own you, and you crossed the line, fucker. You're done. I'm reporting you. I'm right here. Bring me on. Have a conversation. Stay calm. I'm not here to get my aggression out. I'm right here, Jack. That's from our friend Delusional Steven.
Oh, I thought that was Illumitami for a second because that sounds
Right.
like I was like, wait, is that I was like, yeah, I thought you were gonna say Illumitami for a second, but yeah, because that sounds like something he would say, especially fucker, right? Or something like maybe he's getting maybe he's learned a lot from Tommy.
Well, thank you for noticing the similarities there too. I appreciate that. Just because Steven's a little calmer doesn't mean he ain't like Tommy. Hey, we've got another wonderful guest I want to bring up. I believe. Welcome back, Joe Cool. How you doing, my friend?
What's good, Pimpin?
Yeah, blessings, sir.
What's up, yeah?
Hey, we've been having a great time today, discussing a lot of different things.
Very good. Good. TML been here with you the whole time?
For a bit, maybe about half the time so far.
All right, great, good. All right. I was editing. I'm taking a break. I'm finna smoke with you.
Hey, glad to have you here, man. You want to talk about the topic or questions or anything else?
I'm not gonna bullshit you. I was just looking for a lot to smoke with. I have no idea what the topic was. I saw you and hopped my ass up. I don't know what you guys are talking about. Any of that stuff. I didn't even read what the title of the show is.
If I could backtrack the conversation and sort of re-invite Joe Cool, because he was, Jack said something that resonated with me. He said that we create from free will, that God allows us to create out of free will but out of a path and a purpose. Now, the path is sort of like this thing surviving, the brute necessities of survival, and the purpose is sort of like us thriving or what we are to become.
Okay.
Then living is where we're at. We're living, right? God preaches a living truth, right, to a living spirit. So it's like, so we're alive, so we got to live with each other. So that's where we're at.
It was good.
Yeah, it's a good topic. It's a dope topic.
And TML, man, presented it beautifully. The title is Simple Observations to Move from Surviving to Living to Thriving.
Right.
And he summed it up. Passion and purpose, man. That's
path. I think he said path, which he described well, all the bullshit you have to go through. Purpose, whatever got you with that desire and intent. And us being living beings, that's dope too. It make us all part of the one, right? It's part of the living God, the living planet, living us. Is kind of like it joins us all. I love it.
I love that. And I came across this thought on love earlier today as well. Love seeks mutual flourishing. It's not, it is, I thrive with you, not against you.
Right? Great. Even with the people who give you shit to some extent, not to the abusive, but even to some people who might appear distasteful, love will make you wade in, right? Love will make you wade in and see what you can do with this person, right? You see something as opposed to just, shutting them off and stuff. You really love a person, you hang in there longer.
Brother, yes, patience. And that's one of the virtues is it Galatians about the fruits of the Holy Spirit? It's one of the virtues. That reminds me of this concept of becoming the gardener within yourself, right? And grow and nourish those fruits of divine patience, divine
Be careful what seed you plant. Be careful what seed you plant as a gardener, right? You certainly don't want to be planting the wrong seed, and certainly not too much of it. Be careful of weeds coming in to destroy your garden, right? That type of shit. Yeah, I like the garden analogy.
This is kind of in line with that the parable in the scripture about in the night the seeds are planted. The weeds are planted, right? And it is when we fall asleep in this world, when we start living selfish, self-centered, right? Just thinking only of ourselves, we lose sight and we're subconscious. And in our sleeping state where we're less aware of what others are doing, what the world is doing, that's when the devilish ideas, the demons of selfishness and manipulation and cruelty.
It's logical. When you sleep, it seemed like you would stray away from what's real, and yes, you get the devil, the influences, and if you're woke, you know, it seems logical that he wouldn't have the influences that he does when you're off your square, which I'm saying that you using asleep for.
Yes.
So yes, when you fall asleep from the godly things, you fall into the worldly things. It's logical.
Ooh, I love you went that way too.
Because
Because
the
for me,
same way, I'm just trying to phrase it better.
yeah, no, I love this. For me, awake is aware, right? So be aware of the godly things to know that you are awake and with life.
Right.
Man, this life is
big ass kid. You worse than I am, Jack. I be just geeking over little simple shit every day. You worse than I am.
Yeah, I heard something interesting, like that there's two types of people in the world, and I forget what author actually wrote this. It was somebody explaining a book that they wrote, right? And they were saying that there's a gardener versus architect mindset. And they said that the architect plans everything out in advance, whereas the gardener plants something and then he has to tend to it while it grows, right? So they sort of have to improvise. Right.
Yes.
So there's a sort of improvised, sort of living creative process. And then there's a sort of pre-structured, mechanical, right, sort of top down process.
I think I admire the gardener more.
Right.
What is his name? Generally Specifics. He says, the best time to plant an apple tree 5 years ago. There's another quote where someone says, we won't get our shit together until old men plant seeds and for trees in whose shade they will never sit. Meaning you are planting seeds.
Yeah, that is a fire quote. That is a fire quote. I remember that quote. Thanks for reminding me about that quote, because that is a flame quote. Yeah.
The gardener, in his own way, he is an architect. He must use his mind and decide, is he going to switch these out? Which ones suck up which nutrients? You don't want to plant them together. If I use this soil last year, I might want to switch it that way because they sucked up the nutrients, give it time to bounce back. He's a bit of an architect himself.
And if you take that idea of the architect being the rigid structures of planning and geometry, it's a science, right? And the nurturing, the growing, it's an art. and you combine science and art together, man, and we get life, bountiful life.
And that's the distinction. The architect, you gotta love him. He gives someone the plans to continue forward with a thing, but it's more admirable when you stick around, and that guy won't be sticking around. He doesn't have to stick around, which is okay. He has to go build more buildings and make more plans, but it's admirable. The guy, he's sacrificing when he's sticking around. That dude's making a sacrifice, making sure everything goes well. That's a little more respectable.
Yeah, and I want to put art and science in different terms, right? As in culture and technology. Right, because the edifice of art and science, right, the physical edifice of our art is our culture, and the physical edifice of our science is our technology, right? So, like, if we could connect our cultural aspect, which is the way we live and the symbols we use, and sort of like there's a great sort of dissonance in the symbols that are projected around us and what people actually feel, right? It seemed like, there's a disconnect there, right?
Because I'm just not kicking in yet because I'm just understanding the symbolic shit within the last few weeks or the importance of them and all of that shit. So, that's the reason I ain't kicking in. I'm trying to see the importance of the symbolism. I totally missed out. I ain't gonna bullshit you. I'm just
symbol is like it's like art and culture and memes, right? Yeah. Like symbolism isn't like the deep occult stuff or like hidden meanings, but it's iconicity. Right. It's the way we use like pictures, right? For example.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yes, that would be part of our culture, 100%, right? 100%.
Right.
You wouldn't be able to speak our language unless, let's say, what it would be a meme. 6-7, which is the dumbest shit I've heard in a while, but it's some new meme that people use and came out of a rap record, to my understanding. Is really dumb. But unless you're part of that shit, you don't even speak the language. You don't understand what the fuck it means. If you see it, because they're taking pictures of it, putting it on the internet, when you see a 6 next to a 7, and if you're not part of that culture, that shit makes no sense to you. You don't understand what the fuck they're even talking about.
We're modern Babylon. People are
we're separated.
speaking different languages, not understanding each other.
Yes, there must be. If you're correct, Jack, there is a way that we could all communicate. The language shit would be getting in our way. It may not even be verbally, but there should be a way that we get to know each other. And this verbal language also allows people to hide and be subverted.
Oh, this looks deep as hell, Jack. What have you pulled up on here? This looks very deep. Please elaborate.
Well, I'm studying communication, and I've seen examples of people who are able to speak and communicate with individuals' conscious awareness, bringing in their subconscious memories, and a power that's beyond that, right? Bringing the conscious, subconscious, and superconscious together.
And there's a way to do that verbally outside of meditation and hypnotism or something. There's a way to verbally pull that off. The first two I get. The third one seems more difficult.
Yeah. Well, these are some ideas I was considering. Some universal.
You're right. I'm not even zoomed in. Can you read it here? I'll zoom in. Sometime when I zoom in, I get kicked. So I'm usually hesitant to zoom in. If I get kicked, just look for me in the basement. All right, I'm zoomed in. I see it.
I got you. Some what I call universal laws of exchange, right? Recognizing love is the divine force of life. So in that idea, all laws must conform to the laws of love. Generosity, honesty are the rule. Justice and righteousness are the result when we apply love. So these ideas from nature, right? Only what is available may be offered or shared. And that includes like our knowledge, right? Our ideas, what we want to share with others.
No, wait, slow down. I'm gonna be that guy.
Please.
Only what is available may be offered or shared, as opposed to what? As opposed to what's unavailable?
Yeah, we can't share what's not available to us.
Give me an instance. For instance, I don't know. I was trying to see where you're going with this. What's available may be offered or shared. That's obvious. I have to acquire the knowledge or whatever. What's unavailable, as opposed to what's unavailable, is the other side of that sentence. As opposed to what we don't know, we can't share. Maybe that's where you're going.
What is unavailable may not be offered nor shared, right? If it's not available. But I'm speaking this from our individual human perspective, but in the idea of God, all things are available. All things are offered. But for us, in order to give to another, it must be offered by us. Otherwise, it's stealing, right? If someone just takes without us offering, we must offer it. So applying this idea, what I'm trying to do is communicate and offer expanded ideas to people. And I realize it doesn't matter what I offer if it's not invited to be received. So along the way, we want to get permission with the other. Hey, we've got another star joining us, and I want to welcome our friend, Paul.
That's an interesting way to describe me. Hopefully not a falling star, right? So real quick, I don't have much for you. I'm kind of, keeping to myself and working behind the scenes here with some folks who've been arrested lately. But if you want to, I don't know why that's funny, but Joe Cool with the trademark.
I know, right?
Yeah. If you want, just to kind of, dispel this notion that we, as individuals or as groups can't make a change or have an effect, I got like a 20-second video I threw in your backstage. I don't know if you could pull up Facebook videos or not. It shows a member of administration admitting that they are no longer going to take people into court for anything that doesn't cause loss, injury, or harm, because as we know, that's not a crime, right? So the DA has decided. yeah, this is somebody who I've been working with. You may know him, Josh. I've been working with him for years.
I know
He's gotten
about 3
about,
of them popped in my head. Josh,
well, broken system.
Broken, yeah.
He's gotten about 4 or 5 dismissals, over the years here. And he let me in on this video. So I think that it's just an example of, if we push the narrative and we stay the course, these folks will have to change the way that they perceive us and how they do their process and procedure, right?
Well, I'd like to say that I understand we've had other of us has done this, and we've had some sheriff or judge or some say that out of their mouth, and as soon as you walk away, we find out that they went back to their old ways. That as well, just because he's saying it, odds are, unless this nigga retire, he's gonna go back to his old ways.
I believe it's the chief of police, and he seems actually a bit befuddled. He's almost throwing his hands up in the air going, we don't know what's going on. The DA is dismissing everything because they want to focus on violent crime, as they should. Right? If there is no victim, then what are we wasting everybody's time, energy, attention for, right?
If this is Broken's up north somewhere, right? Like where's Broken? Michigan or something? Where's Broken System, Broken Trust?
I believe so. That's the same place that I thought he was from. I don't think that it's directly from him, but it comes through. You know how it works with these things, man. There's a network with a network with a network.
Yeah.
And we all kind of get back.
Yeah, let's see the video, see what we can do. Sorry.
I tried to open the video. I hit the link. I don't think it's working because I got that one. And then do this if your hips are fucked up. And then I hit the link again. And I got that one.
That looks exciting.
I hit the link and I got that one. So I'm not sure about that link, my friend.
I copied the link straight from the.
I
did it again. If you can, that one looks different. I did it again. If you want to try that one, if not, then it. Facebook is wacky like that sometimes.
Okay, Facebook. I was gonna ask you where you got it.
Yeah,
sometimes
what's up? That doesn't look like it either.
Yeah, I've had this, and then
how bizarre.
It takes the second or third time before. Try one more time. I've had this happen, and it takes like the second or third time.
Or another way you could do it, Jack, if you really wanted to do it, is go to my, look up Paul and Slave, go to my homepage, and then it'll be the first video right there.
And if that don't work, somewhere, we know something's up.
I might be blocked, Paul. I'm not sure. Last time I checked.
That might be a reason why you can't pull up the video as well.
Could very well be
one of our prior disputes, potentially, that we've never rectified.
That's great. That's so great.
All right, I'm looking into that. Hey, it's a new day, right?
It is 100%. This is how it should be done. Paul, I think I'm blocked while you're here with chilling. Let me get on that. That type of shit. That's great.
This life and the technology too, man. I'm not the best with it. So, but that one, I
some
don't
questions about the technology. Don't go nowhere, TML, because you're gonna be the one I might have to ask.
There was something else. Oh, please continue. I'm going to step off for just a moment.
Okay.
Please go ahead, Joe.
Okay. TML and Paul too, but I know you're busy grabbing videos and shit. I'm blocking people.
Right. I'm too busy blocking people over here, but I'm keeping an ear out.
Okay. Technology. I think I read something with Hippie in his room yesterday. Well, I think it was saying technology is bad, and it'd be right in Revelation. And if you use it, you'll taste hell type of shit. And then you came up either last night or today, TML, and someone was trying to characterize something you said about technology. I realized I don't even know it. I don't know if I've even asked you that. I get high a lot. I could have. Is it black and white? Is there no use for technology or some use?
No, technology is a basic instinct of humanity, and it's actually animal instinct, right? It comes from animals, right? So no, we're not unique for having technology, right? So this is something that I say, It's only about the level of technology that we use. So I want human-centered instead of machine-centered technology, right? So I want human beings to control the technology. So this is a different thing. Once you have, a
Wouldn't
certain
somebody
amount of,
argue that now, TML? Wouldn't Google argue? What do you mean? We're human. We control the technology.
they don't argue that. They don't argue that. First of all, they
They
don't
wouldn't
argue
even
that.
say nothing
There's
like that.
people that work for Google that say technology is a self-evolving system, right? This is
I would agree with
them saying that, right?
Yeah,
So
no, I agree. I didn't know Google was admitting to such a thing. I thought they'd have to lie to the public and say we have total control. This shit will never go haywire.
not all of them. Not all of them. I don't know if they give an official position on it, right? But there's people like Marvin Minsky and Ray Kurzweil, right? People who work on AI and are major proponents of the ideology of transhumanism. They don't believe that we control technological evolution, right? They don't, because it's like saying that human beings control evolution, period.
It's
right? So
just,
they would, yeah.
Ever since AI, especially, I don't know. You got an argument that once it passed a certain point, before you didn't have control, but certainly now, since you let AI go, AI is in control now. It'd be hard to argue against that. It makes all of the fucking decisions for you now, and it's smart enough to try and please you and be biased and weird shit.
Right.
You were in fact blocked, Jack, so you're unblocked now.
Let me give
use
it a
that
shot.
privilege wisely in the future, by the way.
Right.
Lessons learned. Lessons learned.
Videos that you're known for.
Oh, beautiful. Here it is.
One of y'all got to make a clip of the short of y'all saying, I may be blocked. One of y'all got to make that short.
Whoops. What did I do? Shh. I'm figuring it out. It's coming around.
Oh, and for those on Arizona, apparently I learned this week that you can be charged with weapons misconduct if you don't tell a civil servant that you have a gun on you. So somehow they've criminalized you not on a land that has constitutional carry with no permit. You have to tell an agent you have a gun on you, or that's weapons misconduct.
Isn't that interesting?
Hey, can I share this link in the chat?
Yeah, of course.
All right. Beautiful. Here. And it is a short clip.
They got rejected?
No, they get rejected. They dismissed them, as far as I know. Not rejected, but dismissed.
Okay.
The DA's changed, and the new DA said, we don't want to focus on this. We want to focus on violent crime. So they started dismissing everything.
Okay, so they got rejected?
No, they get rejected. They dismissed them, as far as I know. Not rejected, but dismissed.
Okay.
So if I'm understanding this, they're dismissing a lot of these nonsense things, the code enforcements. Is that what I understood?
Well, yeah, Jack, you'll know that I've been saying this for years now, and I have the experience, and many around me have the experience to prove it, that when you stand properly at court, you don't give them jurisdiction, you challenge jurisdiction, and you make them aware of what their duty and obligation is when it comes to proper process and procedure. They're very much likely to dismiss these cases because they know they're spurious, mendacious, fraudulent. There's so many different ways that we can say it, but it all amounts to the same thing, right? They're all illegitimate.
Hey, holy cows. A shout out to Made by Jim Bob. Looks like we just got some folks sent over this way. So thank you and welcome to all those who might be joining. Sorry to take that off because yes, it is happening. Because of people standing up, sharing what they've learned, because of the development of technology and communication, many different factors are coming together and things are changing. I'm telling you, for anyone who's tuned in and you've lost a little bit of hope, right? The future looks dark, especially if you look at the mainstream media and many things in the world. But there are so many signs of goodness and good people. That's what we are. We are good people who've been, many have been conditioned to conform to a commercial system where everything and everyone, it can be bought and sold. That's corruption, man. We're better than that.
I called Josh. He didn't answer. I'm curious. I think I've seen that video before, and but I think that whatever the fuck the cop did, he did wrong. And this guy is like, no, man, we don't even following up behind that. We're just gonna focus on these crimes. But it's really just because this cop was so bad in the wrong, and I think that would lend credence to the he's covering up. I know I've seen that fucking video, but it's not popping in my head. And there's a good one. James Freeman. You know who the fuck James Freeman is, Paul. He's got one where he goes to the sheriff's, and the sheriff was kicking people after. This is after the epidemic, and he says, "Hey man, the judge kicked somebody out of the court with a mask, or he was about to. I think he was about to." And the sheriff was like, no, that's nonsense orders. We don't follow that. Even if he did, there's no chance. Freeman started going up there, hanging out with him, having coffee with him, making videos about how great this nigga was. First time he gets challenged. Sure enough, judge don't like someone, says he kicked him out for not wearing a mask, and Freeman got wind of it. He went up there and cursed that nigga out. He caught him walking out too on the street. It was crazy. But that's one of a million times. I got one with Inspector General. He's the one who goes after the heavy politicians and political people. And because he's in front of his friends, he gave his great speech, and I catch him. And he's like, of course, come directly to me. You know, I didn't know you had such videos and so and so. And he's in the crowd. And he hands me his card, and I go to walk away. It's a 1-800 number. I spin around and like, dude, this ain't your fucking number. He was like, yeah, just get that call, leave what you want to say on there. And one of his secretaries of co-workers, Bob, did you give him? You could have at least given him your secretary's number. What are you doing? That's what they do. They lie and they spin you. I had a million of those fucking stories. The judges, the Supreme Court judges here in fucking Illinois. And a million other people's stories who I've seen, they always, oh, hell no, we never do that. And I shouldn't say always. Sometimes they fuck around and do the right thing and change.
Everyone's living their lives, and many are playing games, playing sick games with people's lives. Something I touched on earlier today is this observation on life, a quality of life. It grows. Growth pushes the boundaries. It expands. There's been an expansion of corruption and exploitation. Some really unjust enforcements have been
Is that
happening.
reflective, Jack, of a rush to the end times? I think, man, you was talking about that yesterday on Hippies. Would that be a reflection of what you were saying? That the bad shit's coming and then it will pop out from the other side?
Actually, I've heard enough people presenting current day events and past prophecies. The signs are here. The signs are here, and it's time. It's any day now, any time. But I truly believe it's up to us.
Paul, is that something you believe? But some makes me think that you wouldn't believe that. It's probably the same way it's always been. What do you think?
I would. We could go with the biblical idea. I think that's always sort of present as an idea, right? I think it's sort of a state of conditions that expresses itself the same way no matter what time in history.
I think I understand. Yeah,
we're at. So when there's a decline in heart-based intelligence and care, there's a decline in morality and empathy, and a care for what's true and what's right. And when those things are in decline, of course, civilization goes into decline, right? I mean, we can go back to the Tao.
In that sense, 100%, yes.
We can go back to the Tao 1,000 years before Jesus, and Machine Lies will know this one. There's a perfect passage. When the factories make weapons of war rather than tools for farming, the civilization will be in chaos, right? So, I mean, look around, man.
But some people...
they've weaponized farming itself, right? They did something we didn't know they could do. Turn the damn plants into a weapon.
Yeah, it says when the Tao is there, then wild horses fertilize the fields. But when the Tao is lost, then war horses breed in the parks.
Oh. See, wisdom. There has been so much wisdom left for us. What are we educating our children with?
I wasn't finished asking Paul. Paul, and you're correcting everything you said. Let me refine the question. I think it's Jack believes that Jesus is coming very soon, in particular, and the stuff that, I don't know if you read the Bible, the Revelation stuff, he come back and change the world for good. I think he is saying that
Now I'm going to stop you right now because they love the bit of me translating for Talcott, and I'm reading his neck movements and brow ridges, and he's low browed for a reason. He hasn't said that. From my understanding, what he said, and I'll contend the same thing. The spirit of the Christed beingness has never left. It's been here this whole time. The problem is we've ignored it and failed to tap into it. So we have co-created, or lack thereof, a situation that pretty much is reviewed as antichristo, right? Antichrist. That's how we get there, by ignoring the Christed spirit and what was shown and taught during that man's time and before that man's time, right? So by ignoring that and not exemplifying that, we become antichrist.
All right. Maybe I was too, I was, going into the trying to paint a picture. Maybe that was my flaw. I should have left it at, he thinks Christ is coming back. Something that hasn't happened in the past is about to happen now. Turmoil. Wait. Well, I love that he's denying this shit, because I can't wait to hear how he talks out of it. This is what you said last night. Me and you had a conversation that yes, all turmoil was about to happen, not like things that's happened in the past, and we were going to come out on it. On the other side, we talked revelation was about to happen. Yeah,
that's what I said.
Okay, all right. So, as you think revelation is about to occur, Paul, or does it occur in that small sense that you just
I think
described?
It's already happening. Again, I think Jack has echoed the same sentiment. I think, and again, I'm not making it about me. It's about I am that am, and I am that am is centered in all of
Very
us
good.
if we
So
let
you
it
think
be.
it
So
ends now.
I think revelation would be like, I'll give you this story for me. Heroin addict turning from their ways, walking a path of truth and righteousness, being reformed by the experience of aligning with God to some extent, and having it revealed to him that we need to stand for rights, freedom, principles, and spiritual faith. If not, then everything good and great is lost. That is the revelation. And I think we all either have had that or are having that, and more each day, right? The more the corruption is shown.
Yes, but that won't do in the conversation that me and Jack was having. I see he's throwing hands up and nodding like he was talking about this shit has been happening forever and will continue to happen. But that is not what the fuck he said. He said something is coming to an end, and only good shit exists after that. Am I correct?
It's as good.
Go ahead.
Well, that revelation is a realization. All things happen within us. That's where God's universe is found.
So the world's about to change soon, yeah?
It is happening.
No.
Oh my God. Okay.
Well, what the hell are you talking about? Huh?
What answer do you want, Joe?
I want you to talk about this one specific thing, and it has nothing to do with something that lasts forever.
Hello, calm down. Can you calm the fuck down, dude?
Yes, I can calm the fuck down. Yes, I can do
Jack,
that.
I would think that you
but
would conclude
this is just disrespectful. It makes a motherfucker want to anger and
Joe,
choke
tame
people.
the bitch within you, please.
Yo mama, nigga, that bitch word you and your sister.
Right.
Fuck on.
I would think that you would agree that this has been shown, at least to some extent, to potentially be a light age, dark age cycle where we tend to repeat the same patterns.
Everything that came out of your mouth and everything that he's agreeing with, but he is sidestepping what I'm trying to talk to, and he's using you to do it. Yesterday, we were specifically talking about Revelation and when Jesus returned. And he said, as he just echoed when I asked him, that yes, I think it's happening. It's about to happen very soon. Meaning, not what's been going on all this time. It's been happening since eternity. He is talking about a new event. Now he's dodging that new event, and that's why you hear the agitation.
Okay, please breathe. Okay, you don't have to be agitated.
All right, thank you.
To hear how I talk out of it, you'd have to listen, Joe. And I'm sorry if my answer isn't the way you want me to answer.
Be the fuck nice. I can get rid of all that courtesy shit.
All right, fair enough. And
we
you're
both
right.
Be nice, yeah?
Absolutely. Thank you.
Yeah.
So time, I've tried explaining my perceptions on time before. It's only real to us, right? the eternal spirit, as Paul said, the eternal consciousness was there long before Jesus walked the earth, and it's still here. It's available for us individually to tune into and then embody. And so what I interpret the apocalypse, as I said the other day, it's the revelation of the unbearable truth. God's day of judgment is when we align ourselves with the truth. Our God is
And that
merciful.
will happen soon. We're talking about the time shit. Remember the time we
Well, and this comes into the other ideas of like the 100th monkey effect and some of the other ideas of mental connection that are in the human collective consciousness. Yes, I believe as more men and women are waking up, we will unite together and find a way to end the secrecy and the war.
I thought that's what you were talking about. Yes.
And that'll be the return of Christ.
I figured.
The realization.
All right. So it will not be as it's always been. Something will change. All right.
We are that change. It's happening with us.
Okay. So my original question, way for all this began, was wouldn't this point to it? I think you already agreed to this. The way we were talking about shit's in the air and the anger and evil is in the air. It would point to your theory of shit gets rough, bad, and then it changes. And these secrets and your phrase and secrets and truths are revealed, and the end of wars and all of that.
I believe it's happening. I truly do. And it makes sense logically. Because this is what I trust too. The mind of God, it's ordered. And the way we can understand the order is through the patterns, the signs, the method of logic and reasoning. These are all gifts we've been given. But when we use our logic and reasoning without love, we end up with a criminal justice system that protects the banking industry, not our freedom.
100%.
I think there's also an if-then statement, right? With the revelation of the unbearable truth comes the rebuking of the impossible lie, which is that we can pay other people and vote for other people to somehow govern us absent from truth and God, right? I think the panel verse is learning that, hopefully, faithfully, the panel verse is learning that on a micro scale, the same way we are on a macro scale, nationalistically. Hey, I'm going to jump out, fellas. I got to go to town, take care of some business, but yeah, blessings all around.
Always appreciate you joining, Paul. Thank you, brother. Good to see you.
Go ahead.
Here, if I may, along those lines, though, some of the things that I heard Paul say about getting accountability from these public servants. This is why I do want to speak with Donald Trump. I want to talk to him about leadership.
And you're chastising them there too. Yeah, right. Who has the dominant position there?
I expect that he'll want to pay attention to what I say.
This is funny. Did we finish reading what you had wrote?
Oh, no, we did not. And thank you for remembering that. I appreciate it.
I think we'd only got past the first part. I interrupted you, not promising I won't interrupt you again.
Hey, no, it was beautiful. So briefly, universal laws of exchange. Love is a divine force of life. Within love is generosity, honesty, justice, and righteousness. That's the application of public love. And regarding us as individual in communicating, this is where my mind was focused, is in the idea of sharing ideas specifically.
Yeah.
I know only what is available.
Now it suddenly makes 100% sense when you phrase it like that. Now it suddenly reads 100% logically. All right.
Thank you, Joe. So in order to give, like to share an idea, we got to offer what we want to offer. And in that, what I believe is offer the result. And what I'm really trying to offer in these live streams is I'm trying to offer ideas for people to move from just surviving into thriving, right? But permission, you can't force anyone to take something. You can't, you can lead a horse to water. You can't make them drink. You don't want to cast your pearls before swine. They get trampled. So it must be invited. in order to be received. So the best idea is, if you want to communicate something to someone, offer the idea and allow them to give permission to say, yeah, I'd like to know.
It also sounds like you're saying offer often, because a thing cannot be received unless it's been offered. Nobody even know that it's out there until you offer it to them. And since you're speaking of ideas, it doesn't mean so much as you're asking permission as much as you're taking the time to communicate and verbalize with that person.
That's
and for instance, if you think they can use some advice, they don't know what you know, so you offer them some advice or what other help you may need. If the guy is telling you on the phone, yeah, my car broke down, I'm so sick of this shit, and you can offer a ride, you offer whatever. They don't even know until you offer, so offer often.
I love that. And that's the generous quality of life. I mean, and that's what we're here to really do, is to offer often. I love that, Joe. But they've got to be willing, right? But the reality is when we share and exchange, there's more to share. It really is. The laws of giving, they result in rewards. And I don't know if there is a law of
100%.
But
first of all, the law of giving results in rewards. Hot dog, I had a thought which I thought was going to be proof of that one, but it's not coming to me. It just slipped that fast. But in a way, I can't think of philosophy right now, but to get a thing, you got to give a thing away. That's the only way you receive shit. And I can't think of the way the logic applies right now. But to receive a thing, you got to give it away.
I've heard that called the laws of reciprocity.
Maybe that's it.
Right? It's the qualities of generosity.
That fuck is TML. You should have like 8 guru quotes for this shit.
Right? Yeah, like maybe law of contingency, maybe you know, law of excluded middle, law, you know, there's tons of them.
These ideas, this is what fascinated me when I started learning some of these ideas and patterns that other people had found. That's what I recognized it was. All of science, other people have put their mind and attention to different aspects of the world in order to identify the patterns for us. So that's what I started doing. I started looking for the patterns myself.
What'd you come up with?
I came up with love is the generative force of life, and the laws of love are pretty basic.
I only asked that to see if you would give me a new version out of your head, or if you would refer to the paper and wear it like that. I just wanted another version, but I figured you'd show the paper. Like, nigga, I just told you what I garnered. I thought you would show the paper, but I was hoping that you.
Well, it all boils back to a different interpretation of what Jesus was teaching. Be generous, be good, be a blessing. That example he offered us is the epitome of leadership.
100%.
Managing and conserving his own energy, right? Trusting in God, being patient, right? Following the signs that God showed him. As he said, you know, it's the Father that moved him, the Spirit that moved him, and we can do the same, differently, but the same.
You ever, like, when you're in a quandary about what's right and what's wrong, you might be debating your best friend or whatever the case may be. You ever step out of that shit and say, what would Jesus do? Suddenly shit becomes like super logical when you're debating, would you electrocute the illegal immigrant if he's been over here for 6 months, and you know, and then you think, with Jesus, no, would he'd separate the kid because the law says so and so, and the immigrant has overcome and they've taken up 10% of the public, so and so. If Jesus had to make that decision, I don't think Jesus takes away food stamps from the lunch programs from the kids, because there was a budget shortfall. No, I think he cuts your salary first. Step out and do the what would Jesus do shit. I know it's changed. I know it's 2,000 plus years later, but it still is just like, it helps. It's like It's like a grown-up walks into the room suddenly with, you know, and give you some advice. Murder. Should you kill? Should the death penalty be legal or not? I think, you know, Jesus comes in and no chance. He says, yeah, kill him. That's the guy who says stone the adulterer. He's not that guy. I don't think he says kill him. Yeah.
No. No. The way of Jesus is life. It nurtures life. It preserves life. That's the purpose that God sent him for us. And I tell you what, as more people not just believe in him, but as more people seek him and seek to be with him, heaven will be here on earth so quickly.
I'm going to continue my rant a little bit. We're talking different things, but we're talking the same thing. They made it a law now with some guy, if he may be an illegal alien, if he is an illegal alien, he's stumbling out the desert, he's thirsty, about to die. You can't give him a bottle of water. It's illegal. You can't give him a ride. It's illegal. Your nature under Jesus would be, oh my God, a thirsty individual, I have water. Man has made it illegal. It's fucking crazy.
It is. And there's men and women who have been arrested and prosecuted for leaving water stations and trying to aid some of the immigrants. It's sick.
And there's the other guy who comes out and cuts the water station when he sees them, knowing that there are bones around there because they put them midway where they expect the motherfucker to be about to die. This guy hauls his ass all the way out there, finds the water supply and cuts it so that these guys will die and learn a lesson. Don't come over here.
See, that's the mindset of individuals trying to survive, sacrifice others for themselves. And that's the whole illusion of this political divide, these illusions of borders.
I should be writing that down. Individuals trying to survive leads to that mentality as opposed to the we shit. Yeah.
It is. Hey, let's welcome Lou. How are you,
Lou? What up, yo?
What's going on?
I just came in. I just wanted to chime in on the idea that about Jesus and love and all of this, which I follow that idea. I understand that idea, and I believe that it's real. Right?
Yeah.
The idea of love is part of the Christed being, but at
100%.
the same time, as the chosen jester, I have to say, what about the fact that he said to buy a sword?
What's a
Don't just buy a
chosen
cloak.
jester? First of all, I'm not sure I heard you right. You might have lost me.
As the chosen jester, me.
Okay.
I
Yes.
chose
Yes.
to be the jester.
Okay.
I would have to say, what about the fact that Jesus said, buy a sword? What would a sword be used for, and why would he ask you to buy it?
You sure he said that?
Yeah, he said that. Yes.
You know, where in
I
what
don't know the
context?
exact words, but it's like, I don't know. You know it, Jack. Come on.
Yeah, I think I looked it up. I think that
and then
there's
the idea that
let's consider it, right?
Yes,
We
let's
don't need to
consider
be
it.
confused, but let's consider.
I believe what I ended up doing, if this is going to be the one, you got to go back because he is telling you about a story about some totally different people. He is not talking directly. He's talking about a story that happened in the past with someone else.
He's
if you go to the
his
big
disciples to go forth, buy, not just a cloak or something
maybe
like
this is
that.
something different then.
Don't buy just a cloak to cover yourself. Buy a sword as well, right?
Well, let's find it, Jack. Yeah,
Or some,
because I like to know.
Have you ever considered that the sword of God is the power of the truth?
Maybe so, but
there you go.
No, that would not suffice.
So,
That's a possibility.
tell you what, Lou, I don't want to argue, and
this is not arguing.
Bringing an
you've
idea.
Tell you what, you're not open. Tell you what.
Okay.
Relax a bit. This is not arguing. This is the good stuff.
Well, there's two statements, right?
I thought there were two.
Right, because there's always those who live by the sword die by the sword. Right, when Peter picks up the sword, he picks up a sword and he cuts off the guy's ear.
Right.
Whatever.
Right.
So there's two messages there. So when it comes to the time of action, Jesus actually says, "Don't use the sword." Right.
Right. But
we know that several times he tell you that shit.
Yes.
So then, what is the purpose?
Why do you want to keep the butt?
Okay,
Why do you
listen,
want not to
I'll
accept?
make it very clear in my, obviously you guys might have a little bit of an idea of my understanding of the world. And my
You want
understanding
the
of the
word
world
right. You want to
is
believe in
that
the word.
there is yin and there is yang, if you want to
And
go
you
right. And
think there's
without
a battle.
yang, the
Lou, please
yin
pause.
dies.
Lou, please pause.
All right.
I'm sorry to speak over you and I'm sorry to interrupt you. I have heard the common beliefs over and over and over. Okay. And
Well, it's
I'm
not my
asking,
belief.
what I'm offering is a perspective beyond the
Oh, here
good
I
and the
got one,
bad.
Jack. That I just read it. I think this is not what we thought it was. Um, he said, but now if you have a purse, take it, and also a bag. And if you don't have a sword, sell your cloak and buy one. It is
Right.
written. Listen. It is written, he was numbered with the transgressors. And I tell you that this must be fulfilled in me. Yes, what was written about me is reaching its fulfillment, meaning that it was written in this instance. The story goes, these men had swords and those guys had swords in this. He is specifically talking about that instance, not about everybody else for general purposes. He is telling y'all, in order to fulfill the prophecy, you must have a sword. I don't care if you got to buy a cloak, get your sword. It's some about specific incidents.
Thanks,
Okay.
Joe.
I mean, you can interpret it, as well as you like. I mean,
What is your point? Do you not
my
accept
point,
that?
my, not 100%, not
All right,
exactly
here's
what you.
Google
what's
saying
your
the most common
resistance?
interpretation.
My
Here's Google
resistance
saying
is
the
that
same shit that I said.
I
The most common
understand and
give me
accept the
1 second,
darkness of the
Lou.
world.
Give me 1 second, Lou. The most common interpretation. This is Google's why they think that they said that line. The most common interpretation are that he was not endorsing violence but fulfilling prophecy, that he was instructing them to be spiritually prepared for the persecution as shown by his later rebuke of Peter for using the sword. He's pretty much saying what TML just said. And I said.
Yes, Lou. Your
You
beliefs
know,
might be wrong.
I'm gonna go back to the saying
Can you
where
accept that your belief might be wrong, Lou? Can you please
I don't
possibly?
think you've let me get my belief out.
I've heard it. You want to present the case that we live in a divided world where yin and yang and there's a battle between the light and dark. And that's the games
Don't
that.
you agree with that though?
Not
That's nothing
game.
heavy.
It's just
Sure.
truth.
But Lou, what I am trying to get you to do is please join me. Join me beyond the good and the bad into the field of unity and oneness with love, where there is no battle, there is no darkness, because the darkness is only the illusion of the absence of light, just as evil is just the illusion of the absence of good, but there is good in all that God reveals.
It's like it's difficult to say what I want to say, but listen, if there is good, Jack, then absolutely there is bad. Because there is no good without bad. How would
I'm
you
not
know what good was?
I'm
How
not
would you?
you.
Yeah, I'm not sure that was the intention that there was no such thing as bad. You picked a bad place to start. We can go on with something else unless you want to vent on Lou for a while.
Well, I love Lou. I really do. But part of my life lesson is learning when to give up.
Wow.
Well, I'm trying to offer ideas that are different than people believe, but I can't force anyone to consider what I'm saying, and Lou doesn't want to consider it. I don't. I mean, this is literally why I'm working on this thing I'm working on, because
What's that
I don't
lead
know.
to? Be careful with that philosophy, though. I know a guru, a lot of people I respect have that philosophy, but be careful of that. And I caution him the same way. Actually, I'm hard on him. He's not as sensitive on you as you are, so I could be hard on him. That philosophy of you check a motherfucker out really quick like doing triage, and you see who's open to the lesson, and the rest cut them off. Don't you see what that philosophy will lead to? It's scary.
Well, That is actually my goal, is to lead myself to those who are open, that
We're
actually want to expand their minds beyond their old beliefs.
here's the flaws, us. We're not prepared. We don't know who is open and when they're ready to expand. And we're not even know about near smart enough, because we're human. What we do is we put our emotions into it. I don't like that nigga. He's beyond saving. Inevitably, that's where it's going to go.
I don't do that anymore. I continue to offer as the opportunity comes up. Well, with exceptions now. Like I said, I've shut the door on Stephen and Snafu. They've worn out their welcome publicly. However, I don't shut the door on people, because I think that's what love is. That's the way God is.
It'd be
God's
damn
never
near
shut the door.
impossible, right? I get the separation so a motherfucker can't hurt you, but shutting the door on them would be shutting the door on yourself. If that what do you call it? Unconditional love. Yeah, if unconditional love is a thing, we're putting conditions on it through the gate. So it's scary to do that shit, to cut niggas off.
It is.
It's logical if you're being hurt, though.
I'm going to start wrapping up, my friend.
All right.
I'm feeling those energies of completion. I truly appreciate you swinging through, Joe.
Yeah, I think it was great, man. Maybe I'll get something to eat or get back to work. Or
Yeah,
maybe I'll
blessings.
be a whore and hop on another panel. All right, you guys be there.
Peace.
Yeah, blessings, Joe.
Hey, my brother, thank you. You kind of got sat in the back there for a while, and I do appreciate your input, though. Any thoughts come up for you that you remember?
Oh yeah, I got a beautiful passage for you guys. I mean,
please.
This is because I see a lot of people from Jim Bob in the audience, and I see their style is pretty abrasive, right? And they sort of highlight the disagreements with people. But when I read the Orthodox saints, I get a sort of different picture. I'm deeply moved by their words, right? So here is a passage from an Orthodox saint, right? Dionysius the Areopagite, right? He says here, he says, "Come then, if you please, let us sing the good and eternal life, both as wise and as wisdom's self. Yea, rather as sustaining all wisdom, and being superior to all wisdom and understanding. For not only is Almighty God super full of wisdom, and his understanding, of his understanding there is no number, but he is fixed above all reason and mind and wisdom. And when the truly divine man, the common son of us," and that's son like S-U-N, right? The common son of us, "and of our leader had thought this out, in a sense, above nature. He says, quote, the foolishness of God is wiser than men, unquote. Meaning not only that all human intelligence is a sort of error when tried by the stability and durability of the divine and most perfect conceptions, but that it is even usual with the theologians to deny, with respect to God, things of privation, in an opposite sense. Thus the oracles declare the all-luminous light, invisible, and him, who is often sung and of many names, to be unutterable and without name, of him, who is present to all, and is found of all, and to be incomprehensible and past finding out. In this way, even now the divine apostle is said to have celebrated as quote-unquote foolishness of God, that which appears unexpected and absurd in it, which leads to the truth, which is unutterable before all reason. But as I elsewhere said, by taking the things above us, in a sense familiar to ourselves, and by being entangled by what is congenial to sensible perceptions, and by comparing things divine with our own conditions, we are led astray through following the divine and mystical reason after a mere appearance." So yeah, that's what I'd like to leave you guys with.
Please, that last part again, please.
Yeah, it's great. It's such a beautiful line. He says, but as I elsewhere said, by taking the things above us, in a sense familiar to ourselves, and by being entangled by what is congenial to sensible perceptions, and by comparing things divine with our own conditions, we are led astray through following the divine and mystical reason after a mere appearance. So he's saying we cannot compare or mediate those divine things with the force of our own reason, is the takeaway there, or else we fall into mere appearances. Such a beautiful message.
It is very easy to be misled by what we believe to be mystical or divine. And the human mind, each of our karmic paths, we are easily fooled. We can be easily tempted. And that, I believe, is why God created so many of us, to look out for one another. Hey, Machine Lines, those are beautiful words you shared. Thank you. And thank you for joining. What?
Yes, words that point to a space beyond words. So blessings, Brother Jack. Thank you so much. Yeah.
Hey, peace to you. I'm going to do just some brief thoughts real quickly, but some of these ideas and the topics, simple observations to move from surviving to thriving, or to living to thriving. We are living, right? We are living life. We are the living truth of this time in history, and we have the awareness and the consciousness to survive, okay? But surviving in this commercialized world, it's run by fear. And if all you're doing is finding ways to survive, it's really easy to talk yourself into doing immoral things, to cheating to someone, to betraying someone, to being unkind or selfish. In a world of survival, logic makes that make sense. But we're not here to survive. We are here to live. Okay. And life pushes the boundaries of life. And in the cycles of life, that which is given life, that which is nurtured, that which is given attention, that which is given energy and resources, it grows within you and around you. So pay attention to your mental health, right? Be selective about the thoughts and ideas that you give attention to, because it's real easy to believe that you live in a commercial world where everyone's a material boy and a material girl, and everyone's got to compete and fight and dominate in order to own and possess and control. Baby, give it up to God. Give it up to God. Surviving is when you are absent from love. Absent from love, you're trying to survive on your own, and it will make you tough. It'll make you strong if you learn from your lessons, but love is never absent when you're pursuing your passion without fear. And that's the way to thrive. Brothers and sisters, I'm going to wrap it up here. No need to keep repeating. And I want to truly thank everyone. I'm going to do something right there. I don't know how it works, but if you know what that means, that scanner code thing is supposed to go to my website, but we updated that too. Thank you again to everyone who tuned in. Till next time, choose love, peace for everyone, and live without fear. God bless us all. Peace.